Tony, should it be all about politics? I mean, should these candidates be using this financial nightmare to benefit their campaigns?
I think as you start with this vote, the vote should not be as they cast their votes during this posturing. I think what you're seeing from the posturing, mostly from the Republican Party today, and Boehner, and acting, the way they did today, saying she called us names, so we're not voting for the bill. I think that all needs to be put aside. I think they need to vote for this bill, move it on. Then, after this is all passed, they can go and campaign and point fingers after this is done. We have to secure the markets today and now. This is not for a campaign that we're going to be campaigning in the next couple of days.
John McCain risked a great deal, suspended his campaign, went in to try to get this done, because he got a phone call from Harry Reid saying, we need you in here. McCain gets in, and then Harry Reid goes out in front of cameras and said, we had a deal, John McCain just blew it up. And today, before this vote takes place, Nancy Pelosi accuses the Republicans of being anti-patriotic. That wasn't taken by the Republicans as an offense. That was taken by 95 Democrats as a clear sign that they could vote against their speakers. 5 committee chairmen were among those 95 who voted against the Speaker of the House. They had the votes. They did not deliver.
Jay?
Lynn, let's be clear about this. The administration, the House Democrats, and all of the Senate had a deal on the table. The only reason this is being held up is because of the House Republicans. No one else had a problem with this. You had bipartisan support. If they want the deal to go through, the House Republicans can allow this deal to go through.
You've got the votes.
If you didn't have the House Republicans, you didn't have a bipartisan bill.
The Democrats, the House Democrats held their side of the deal. They held up their side of the deal.
Well, look,
they
the House Democrats can pass this bill without Republicans. You don't need a single Republican vote. You control the House. Pass it.
I'm sorry, say that again?
I say that the House Democrats control the House. They can pass this without a single Republican vote.
As you well know, the president has the veto pen. It has to be all 3 branches of government here talking and working along with each other. And as you well know, whatever they pass, he can veto. They need to work together on this. And the bill that came out as form, it came down as a no strings attached bill from the president. I think both Republicans and Democrats said, no, let's tie strings to it. Let's curb the spending on this. They did. They came out with a bipartisan, both Republicans and Democrats, as an issue. And the Republicans said, we'll have this many votes, and the Democrats came out with this many votes. And the Republicans turned their back today. And that's exactly what happened today.
Let me just add too, Tony, when they first struck their deal last week, and the Republicans, the House Republicans rather, pulled out of this deal, they asked them, well, what is missing? What do you need within this bill? And at the time, they could not tell them what was missing from the bill. Now, that's politics to me if I've ever seen it before.
No, with all due respect, what they said is that it's not what was missing, it's what was in the bill that they didn't want. They did not want the provisions giving more money to Acorn, which is a part of the problem. You look at Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, and here you've got the chairman of the banking committee, who's the #1 recipient in PAC money from those 2 institutions. Senator Obama's the #2 recipient, and what you're saying is these guys have taken these 2 institutions, run them into the ground, run up $250 billion in debt, and now we want more money for them and the same people to regulate this?
This is the problem.
I don't think so.
Problem. There is a crisis of confidence in the people who are putting this together. No one thinks that any of these, whoever turns out to be the latest disgraced Wall Street executive, is going to come back to his firm and be asked to put the thing back together. And yet, the very people who drove this into the ground in Congress are, in fact, the ones who are running this solution, quote unquote. And that is creating a lot of problems.
You're exactly correct. It's the White House.
Well, the White House was controlled by the Democrats in 1999 when all of this
we had record surplus. Jobs were well. Now we have record deficits. The job market right now, we're 10 million people out of work. It is almost 12% of the economy right now with people out of work. We had under Clinton, it was prosperous. Now we're in deficit.
You had a Republican Congress that got that balanced
budget. For 12 years,
budget.
you're exactly correct. They're part of the problem also. You're correct.
You know what? We can't even agree on history here.
If you want to see more of this episode of It's Your Call, you can with Comcast On Demand. Using your Comcast cable, go to Channel 1, get local, CN8, and then choose It's Your Call, CN8, on air, online, and on demand.